Consequent on the Endsars protest and its attendant violence, which peaked on October 20, 2020, investigative panels were set up in parts of the country. For Lagos State, a judicial panel of inquiry on restitution for victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters was set up. One of the key issues the panel was mandated to investigate was the case of the alleged Lekki toll gate shooting, in which unarmed protesters were said to have been shot at and killed by military officers. 1 year after, the panel has submitted its reports to the Lagos State government and recommendations made. With the US, UN, Amnesty International, civil society organizations and others calling on the Nigerian government to take action, and the seemingly questioning of the integrity of the report by Lagos State government. The report actually says that the Lekki toll gate shooting was a massacre. But what do Nigerians think? I am Blessing Eichi, and this is Report on ITV.
The judicial panel of inquiry was set up nationwide to ascertain the verisimilitude, the veracity of what absolutely transpired. Lagos Judicial Panel of Inquiry submitted its report to Lagos State government, where they said, or it was reported that the killings, the massacre, really happened in Lekki, Lagos State last year, even though the military authority tried to conceal the truth. They said it was a figment of the protesters' imagination. But with the report of the Judicial Panel of Inquiry indicting security agents, indicting those in uniform, we do not need to consult the oracle of the hill and the cave to tell us that what the men in uniform did last year was a clear case of genocide, a clear case of massacre. That is absolutely a crime against God and a crime against humanity. Lagos State government have been set up a formal committee to that effect. We are waiting for the white paper. But we must say that we are stakeholders. We must lend our voice, or we must join our hands to ensure that Nigeria operates within the sacred precinct of the rule of law and constitutionalism. That nobody is above the law. Anybody that is indicted should be brought to book.
So as I was waiting for the white paper, I don't think there's much for people like us to wait for. We have colleagues who were there in the panel. We have Endsars representatives who were there in the panel. We have SAN in that panel. So we, like I said, what happened was televised. CNN have their report. Local TV station have their report. People who died, their family is already out. So as for what the general was saying, what statement was he trying to make? That they are waiting. It was not done officially. Are they supposed to come? Are they supposed to take permission from him? So I think they are tired of making excuses. They are tired of making excuses. What so far? What governor of Lagos State will just do? He should write his name on the good side of history. Implement the report. Those who were found culpable, they should be dealt with according to they should be allowed the law to take the due cost.
I want to first commend the efforts of the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry, led by Honorable Justice Doris, for their sagacity and for having the audacity to come up with such a comprehensive and compendious report against all odds. One would be expecting that despite the pressure that the process would be compromised, but reverse was the case. Now, talking about the report and the recommendations so far, yes, there are recommendations, but my fear is that with the government, the state government who is being accused of masterminding the said massacre, will such government be fair enough to implement the recommendations of the panel That is my fear. So now that the international communities, the world power countries is showing interest in this, we hope that the government will be compelled to do the needful. Otherwise, the citizens will not fail. The human rights activists will not fail. The human rights lawyer will not fail to drag the federal government to the International Criminal Court.
The more important thing is that the report to be free from suspicion and doubt should be made public, published. But now it has not been published. It will give room to speculation, which is not the best step in government. Because there be insinuations that this will happen, this will not happen. The normal report should be published for all to see. But as usual, government will talk of white paper. That is to say, the official approval, the official documentation. That white paper should come. And the parties involved, their roles should be examined and blames apportioned accordingly. There were deaths, so the insinuation and misconception that there was no death should not be swept under the carpet so as to ensure that there is no recurrence in the future, to deter the criminals and those who perpetuated and exploited the Endsars, and they are brought to book.
First, let's quickly condemn in totality the action of the law enforcement agents at that location when it happened about a year ago. A panel had come with a report now, and I'm sure that panel was instituted properly. And so whatever is coming from that panel now, or committee, is something that every department of government should take seriously and ensure that the recommendations are implemented to the letter. Anything short of that would mean that government had not sincerely set up the panel in the first place when it was put up. I read about the fact that government had begun to speak from both sides of the map now on the matter. The military, to be specific, the Chief of Defense Staff now, if I'm right, is of the opinion that even the report of the panel is leaked, and that is laughable that such a statement is coming from a top-notch government official of its kind. It's also been learned that a certain other subcommittee will be set up to look at what the original panel had brought out. All of these are damn bureaucratic tendencies that will whittle down, the recommendation of that of the first panel. And I think government is not showing total sincerity to what it's doing with the people of this country.
Having spoken on the report submitted by the Judicial Panel of Inquiry set up in Lagos State for victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters, respondents have made a common call to Lagos State government as well as the federal government to implement the recommendations of the panel. Though the Lagos State government has set up a 4-man committee to look into the report submitted by the panel, the Chief of Defense Staff says the government is waiting for a white paper on the report. It is hoped that right actions will be taken on this matter by the Nigerian government as global attention is right now on Nigeria regarding this. I am Blessing Erichi.